YouTube, man, what's going on? It's LNH back with another video. And today, man, you guys have seen what is trending on YouTube right now. Bronny James just had his official debut and things were looking a little shaky for Bronny James. So let's get right into it, man. If you do like these type of updates, make sure you do like the video. Now, of course, whenever you have a debut, there's going to be a ton of pressure on you. And at least to say the atmosphere in this place was wild for Bronny James for sure. And it looked like it was going to be a very exciting game. Now, when the game first started, what was very interesting was, man, Bronny was not getting that much playing time. And in a debut, I think we would expect this dude to come out here and be getting a ton of playing time, especially since, number one, there was somebody missing on the court. If you guys can guess who else was injured, Amari Bailey. This dude did not play from what the highlights looked like because, of course, you guys know he was dealing with the injury and hasn't played in a little bit. And that would mean, number one, Bronny would have a little bit more spotlight to shine, score the ball, and come out there. And man, this team got killed. The other team really got destroyed. Sierra Canyon destroyed them, beat them 72-19. They scored 19 points. Now, I don't know why they would play a team like this in their debut, or on the other hand, Sierra Canyon could just have such a good team. But for sure, the other team was actually playing zone, and I think it really stopped the flow of how Bronny James and Sierra Canyon were really moving, how they were attacking on the court just a tad bit. And for sure, I think that kind of slowed down their offense. Now, at first, Bronny was putting up very few shots, which honestly, I can't say I was surprised about. I think previously we've seen that where this dude just hasn't put up that many shots. He was looking to pass the ball sometimes a little bit more than scoring, but there were definitely some good things he did as well. Now, them just destroying the other team, but as soon as the other team switched their defense from zone going into man, it was like Bronny was coming down the court and scoring every single time. He had a ton of easy buckets where he just laid the ball up, and it pretty much looked like he had no issue scoring the ball, which is showing, I think, this potential that people have been talking about for such a long time. Now, of course, it's one thing to have potential and it's another to really act out that. And you see when somebody like Amari Bailey is out, he's not playing, and Bronny is they need him to really go out there and score the ball at times. He looked like he had no problem. He looked like he was a natural. He would just go through the lane, lay the ball up. But the one thing, again, this team, it was really not good. They were playing a team where they killed them, destroyed them, and they only scored 19 points. So I really can't say this was the best type of opener to see Bronny, but it looks like he has progressed over this time for sure. And I think that's what people have been wanting to see. They want to see how he's improved because, of course, he has dealt with a lot of injury as well and was allegedly injured this season or last season a little bit earlier. And of course, we didn't get to see Amari Bailey and Bronny go up against Mikey Williams, which would have been fire. But of course, dealing with injury is another huge issue here because we need this dude to stay healthy if he wants to show what he's made of and stay on the court. Now, yes, this dude, of course, already has his offers locked in. He is not worried about that at all. But I think it's just about getting better overall. We want to see his genetics and how he does actually develop into a better player and really how he grows overall. Is he going to get taller, faster, stronger? What is it going to really resemble? How is it going to resemble Bron? Because that's what people really want to see. Now, the problem with being on such a good team where you're blowing out other teams like this is sometimes you don't get that type of shine. But personally, in my opinion, I still think Bronny should stay here, and it probably wouldn't be the move to leave. Now, although he wasn't really getting that much playing time earlier on in the game, which really didn't make too much sense to me, they were destroying the team anyway, so it really wouldn't have made that much of a difference if he was in the game or not. But although it was the debut, so I wish he was actually playing a little bit more. But in my opinion, I think the games that really matter is the ones that are coming close to the wire where they're really playing against solid teams and they need someone to either score a bucket or really go out there, play good defense, make a good pass, really those pressure situations. And a game like this really meant nothing for Sierra Canyon because they just destroyed them and it really didn't prove much at all. Now, hopefully when they do play some better competition, we can see how Bronny really facilitates and how he moves in high pressure situations, because at the end of the day, those are the ones that really do matter. Now, I think what's funny about this entire situation is the only reason people have said Bronny James stayed at Sierra Canyon was to play against better competition. And then, of course, the first game that they play, the comp is absolutely terrible and they blow out the team. Or on the other hand, they could just be that good of a team. But I honestly don't even think they should match up against squads like this because it's really not doing anything for them. We want to see them play against the vertical preps, go against Mikey Williams, other hoopers, Montverde, IMG Academy, these types of schools, because that's actually what can make them better and make Bronny better. Because in this case, if you're playing against teams like this, you might as well leave and go to a team where you can actually be the man on the court, the guy who's scoring all the points and is really that guy on the floor for his team. Because I think, again, confidence and a lot of the work ethic that he would be doing would translate over to a team like that. And then when they rely on him, man, he would be playing just like how we saw at closer to the end of the game, where he's pretty much putting up all the shots, scoring all the points. But again, is that the best for development over a long-term period? Personally, I don't think so. But if they're going to be playing squads like this, man, there is really no point in him staying there whatsoever. Now, some people are saying Bronny was actually exposed in these types of games because he's not out there scoring 20, 30 points, but I really don't think that matters at all. I think what really matters is when we talk about expectations of where he's going to be and what people thought. Now, of course, people are going to compare him to his father. That is going to happen regardless, just because that's his father. At the end of the day, this dude was one of the best players out there, and people are going to make that comparison. But honestly, Bronny, so far, I really don't think this is one of the games that we can even make that type of conclusion, because they killed the other team and it really doesn't prove much at all. Again, I think it's going to be when they have those high pressure situations. But some people, of course, love to say things like Bronny wouldn't even be ranked if it wasn't for his last name and things of that nature. But really, we have to think about it and look at it like it doesn't even matter, because at the end of the day, he is ranked number 1, and 2, he can go out there and we've seen him play well in EYBL. He may not always have the best games at Sierra Canyon, and we've seen him, but there have been some games where this dude does look a little bit more comfortable on the court and shows those glimpses of potential that people know he can probably develop and grow into. I think it's going to be really interesting to see once how this dude performs over his junior year, but as well as his senior year. I'm really interested to see how he will play and perform that senior year, because that's really when you have to make that decision, and we have to say, is this dude really as good as people's expectations were of him, or is he just a bust? We really have to make that decision, because we can't always continue to feed off of the hype just because he is LeBron's son. We have to make that, and we know that sometimes the sons of NBA players are really not that good, but after that dunk contest, seeing Bronny, his genetics, how he's developing over these years, and of course just him being a junior now and looking at how effortless it was on the court for him tonight, I think he's showing us that he's going to prove a lot of people wrong. But some people like to disagree, so you guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. It is going to be a very interesting season, to say the least, and you guys know I'm gonna keep you up to date, so make sure you drop a comment. I'll make sure to respond to you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Like the video, I appreciate it. Again, it's LNH and I'm out.